One of the good things or the blessing in disguise for Brics that happened ever since the Ukraine-Russia war broke out is that the de-dollarization discussion has gained a momentum. Now, particularly from the last summit, annual summit of BRICS, the 15th summit, which was held in Pretoria, the two topics were very eminent, which is the de-dollarization and expansion of BRICS. In terms of expansion of BRICS, 5 new members have been added. But in terms of de-dollarization, whether the bloc will pick a new currency as a new one, as a uniform one, or they will continue to use their own transaction, it has not been clear. But of course, the two talks are still there. But one of the things for the past 1 year that changed the game is that more and more the member countries now have started to trade not only amongst themselves but with others, the global south, with local currencies. Now, with regards to that, 78% of the oil trade happened between the BRICS member states in local currencies, ditching the US dollar big time. Not only that, 65% of the international trade transaction amongst BRICS members happened in local currencies. That is putting the US dollar lower than or below 35% in international transaction. Earlier, to do international trade transaction without US dollar or euro is something unthinkable. But now more and more countries are pushing for that, whether they are members of BRICS or not. And it's paying off the countries big time. Now, Russia has, since the war, the Ukraine-Russia broke out in February 2022, has been selling its oil, crude oil, and refined oil to India and China, to main countries amongst the others, in lower price, because it has to fight the sanctions that has been imposed by the West. And this has paid, it was a mutual benefit for both Russia and India, for both Russia and China. The same thing, it was a vice versa mutual benefits. Now let us go in detail and see this update with regards to this. BRICS settled 78% oil trade in local currencies, ditching the US dollar. What you have to know is that Russia has sold nearly 78% of oil exports to its BRICS counterparts, China and India, between 2022 to 2023, since the war broke out. The majority of oil deals were settled in local currencies and not the US dollar between the three nations. The oil deals gained steam after the White House pressed sanctions on Russia's economy in February 2022, according to some, for invading Ukraine. Now, BRICS members, China and India, helped Russia to bypass that sanction, the US sanction, by purchasing their crude oil at discounted rates. Russia sold millions of barrels of oil to China and India for 2 years at a cheaper prices than the existing market price. India saved close to $7 billion in exchange rates by doing this oil trade with in its own local currency. And now this 78% of the trade happening in local currencies. Now, on the other hand, China paid the Chinese yuan for oil trade with Russia and helped its economy to stay afloat amid sanctions. Only 32% of all oil deals in Russia were settled in local currencies in 2021. Imagine that is before the war. Now that has jumped to a double from 32% to 78%. The deal happening, the oil trade in local currencies, which is reaping, the advantage of this. Now, Russian foreign minister said, quote, 78% of Russian crude oil export went to these two BRIC partners, China and India, whereas in 2021, their share was only 32%. In addition, not only India and China, the newly joined BRICS member Saudi Arabia also purchased Russian crude oil. Now, mind you, Saudi Arabia is the biggest producer of oil or exporters in the Middle East, but it's still bought to get the benefit of this cheaper price from Russia. And then guess what? They sold it back to the US. Perhaps, this could be a backdoor thing that the US telling, look, Russia is selling that we see in a cheaper price to China and India. Now we cannot do it since, the US cannot do it since we are the one who imposed the sanction. Why don't you buy it, like, telling the Saudi Arabians, you buy it and sell it to us with a cheaper price? This, I don't know, in my mind, I'm imagining that this conversation happened. Otherwise, why do Saudi Arabia wants to buy from Russia? Because it has its own. Well, now how to know, like, there are many sectors, in US for its currency being ditched, that now got decreased the international trade transaction, choosing to do most of the business in local currency. It definitely will lose. Now, when the G7 countries decided to crush the Russian economy and energy sector with sanctions, alternative trade mechanisms, including transportation, insurance, and payments for energy, had to be created in a hurry and practically from scratch. And they did it. Well, that is as far as the 78% of the oil trade. Now, just to give you a background, now, BRICS, first of all, now there's a big summit coming up, which is the Leaders Summit, the 16th summit. It's going to be held in Kazan in Russia, because Russia is the chairperson of BRICS in 2024. Every year it rotates. The 65% of trade also happened, the non-oil trade happened in local currencies. Now, this is a huge blow for America and for the US and its allies. Now, the Russian finance minister confirmed in his recent interview that BRICS paid 65% of trade in local currencies. Do you see that? Now, indeed, he says, we are in practice of using national currencies and the Russian ruble with BRICS. 65% of all settlements made in rubles, in national currencies, he said. Well, the share of the dollar and the euro is declining. It's less than 30% now. This is what the finance minister of Russia confirmed. BRICS nations are insulating their economies from sanctions from the US. These are countries, most of them who became a member or a founder. These are countries that are pushed by the US, or suffering from US sanction, or suffering from the bullying of the United States and the West, criticizing and demonizing their leaders, their governance system. All these things make run away these world states and go to the alternative, like this organization, Brics. So Brics is something that was given birth as a result of the continued bullying of the US administration against individual and sovereign member states, because the US for long has maintained this mentality that they are the savior, they are the one, in the world. I mean, it's like they want to make it a unipolar world, which is not. Even beauty is defined by them. So these are the things that it's going to, Brics is going to make a balance and fight it. Well, that was it for now. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this move from Brics? I mean, this practice, that's the fact that the 78% of the oil trade is happened in local currencies. Yeah, let us know in the comment section. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it so far. Share the video with others, give it a like, and if you may help, you can also help us further through our PayPal account. You can find it in the description section. Thanks again, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.